Inside Tennis with the Cause is brought to you by BMW of Sarasota. Drive your dream at BMW of Sarasota.
Hi tennis fans, the Cause here with you again for another exciting half hour inside the world of tennis. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
They say you should dress for the job you want. Shouldn't you drive the car for the life you want? Right now at BMW of Sarasota, experience the luxury you want for less. Like a 320i, only $269 per month. Or an X1, just $299 per month. Everything about you tells your story. Drive a BMW today. You deserve it. BMW of Sarasota. Experience the ultimate difference.
Fanny Stoller, and you're Inside Tennis with the Cause.
And hi to you tennis fans. Welcome to our fourth episode of Inside Tennis with the Cause, right here on SNN. I can't believe how fast the summer is going. It is moving fast gear. We've got a great show in store for you today. What do we have? We have a visit to IMG, where we spent the entire day with Nick Bollettieri and General Manager Rich Macy and the crew. I am telling you, there is a great deal of talent up there. You will love this rising star, Fanny Stoller. Also, we had a chance to catch up with some of the thoughts of Slam champion Mary Pierce. And we caught a few laughs with these guys. These guys are cool. American stars, Andy Roddick and Marty Fish. What are they doing? They're coming back to the tour in Atlanta. Then we had some tennis advice in store for you in our Inside Tennis with the Cause Pro Tip. Let's catch up with what's going on the Suncoast Tennis calendar with our Totally Tennis calendar. Let's get started with our visit to IMG and Nick and the team. Rich Macy, USPTA Florida Facility Manager of the Year. What's that mean to you? What's that mean to IMG?
First of all, I think it's a great honour to be recognised as Facility Manager of the Year. It's not my honour, it's the Academy's. We're a team, we work together, but it's a great honour for both of us to be recognised.
Well, I can certainly see why. The grounds are impeccable, pristine, the complex, expansive, number of courts, activities going on. Get us up to date.
Well, we have 55 tennis courts here. We have 4 indoor courts, we have 33 hard courts, and 18 clay courts. We have 9 sports, over 475 acres. I was lucky enough to be given the opportunity to come here as a youngster, graduated high school here, tried my hand at playing what we call semi-professional tennis. I was out there grinding with all the rest of the thousands of us trying to pursue that dream. But I was based here for 8 years, so it's given me pretty much everything in my life.
You're here as a sparring partner. Listen to this list: Venus, Serena, Maria, Tommy Haas. What do you learn from these people? What influence have they had on your life? What influence do they have on everybody with whom they come in contact?
I think, youngsters coming up today, and even me as a player, you idolize them. You see them practice, you see them play on television, and to be given the opportunity to play with them here and travel with them is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Well, Fanny, career is being launched here. You win the Eddie here not long ago. You go to Romania, win a Futures Pro event. You have been here almost a year. An exciting year, I understand. Talk about how exciting this place is.
Well, I really like it. I stay here. Really good coaches. There's a really good program here for me. The physio every day helps me a lot with my injuries. I'm really thankful for my coach and Nick, who helps me a lot, and my agent. And, I just really like to be here.
Well, Fanny, you mentioned Nick Bollettieri. What about Nick? What's he like? Uh-oh, he's here right now.
I'm right here. I want to hear what this young lady says. Come on. What do you think about Nick?
Well, Nick is a really good person. I really like him. He helps me a lot, and I'm really thankful for him.
Do you want to hear what he's going to say about you? What about Fanny?
It is tough to predict winners today because the whole world has them. But I'll go on a line and say this, that this young girl has all of the ability, the shots, the looks, and everything. And she has a super coach right now that's on the road with her all the time. and that's help, and that's our Margie.
The one thing that I've learned from Nick is just be patient, and not to overcoach and over expect things, and things are a process, and if you just trust and believe in their talent, that things will work out. So and I do believe both Fanny and Ingrid are extremely talented players.
Well, Nick Bollettieri, thanks for lunch today. It's a working lunch for you. It's always a working lunch. You and I were in Miami. You were excited to meet the Pope. You met the Pope. What was that like, Nick?
Well, I had a chance to at least shake hands with him. I didn't want to get into my life because it might have changed his opinion of me, but he's a very progressive Pope, and the worldwide audience is certainly accepting. Did I ever think that I would get to be that close and shake hands? No, that's a dream, although a few years ago I was with Tommy Haas, and I had an appointment with the Pope, and Tommy said, "It's me or the Pope." Can you believe that? I actually stayed with Tommy that day. But God gave me another chance to be able to meet the Pope.
NickBollettieri.com. Major hits these days. It's on the move. The last article that you had out there, Magnus Norman. You like this guy as a coach. What do you like about him? You thought that he was the best coach out there right now.
Well,
next to you, maybe.
Well, first of all, I thought that Magnus Norman is doing a darn good job. There are several other great coaches out there. Boris Becker, Marismo. So there are a lot of great, Justin Gilbert, Stark. What I liked about the article and what I wrote to them is the coaches who put the final touches on the players, Stefan Edberg, they didn't do the groundwork, the years of groundwork that was spent by the coaches in the trenches, and, of course, what was done by Richard Williams. But at the end, Magnus, Boris, and all of them put little touches, and that makes a big difference. But what Richard Williams did, he took a different road than most coaches. He spent time in developing techniques and movement and get to every single ball. And then at 13 or 14, he exposed the girls, and I was very lucky to be one of the coaches that spent several years with the Williams. But what's interesting with a lot of this is because I've come out with my site, nickbollettieri.com. And why it's interesting is we go back 55 years of what was done back in the 70s and the 80s and then the 90s. We bring you up to today. We bring you up what's happening. Live videos also. How to get into college, when to prepare for college. How should parents greet their children? Little live tips each day. Doubles, how to take care of yourself. All of that is on nickbollettieri.com. Is $4 per month.
Game changer right here, changing the game. You brought Bob Davis into this one with you. What's the mission, changing the game? What are you telling everybody in this book, Nick?
The book starts out in the following way. Nick doesn't even know how to play tennis. John McEnroe. But my daddy said to me, son, anybody talking to you is thinking about you. And when they talk about you, you say thank you. However, John McEnroe said that in the first page. But last summer, at the International Hall of Fame, of which I was inducted, and the last man to speak, this man with limited knowledge changed the game, John McEnroe. That's a compliment.
That is an endorsement.
So
and a
that was a
compliment.
big compliment, and that's what the book is about. It's interesting because I've never read very much in my life, and when Bob Davis, my friend, helped me do the book, and we wrote the book, I actually got to know a lot more about myself. I know that if I thought about the things that I did, I would never have done them. The idea came, boom, I went out and did it. And remember, along the way, the book will say that failure is a necessity of life. Why? You learn how to come back and do it a little bit more intelligently. People think failure is the end of life. No, It's an opportunity to try again. And also, all of you listening to this interview, most people do things they're comfortable with. To reach another level of excellence, you got to do things that are difficult to do. And most people will not do that because they say, I can't do it. In my vocabulary, there is no such word as I can't. My vocabulary says, I will do it. And by the way, can't forget, August the 6th, I'm being inducted to the Black Tennis Hall of Fame. One of the first times a white man, I think I'm the first, to get into it, so I'll be in the same Hall of Fame as Althea Gibson, Arthur Ashe. So I'm working on my tan, everybody, working on that tan. Guys, I want to thank you for all the support you've given me over the years. You bring what people want to hear, the real life. So I want to thank you very much.
Nick, you bring out the best in all of us. I was looking for the ring that I could kiss on your finger. Yeah. It's not there, but thank you, Nick Bollettieri.
Ciao, everybody.
Hi, it's David Red Amy from IMG Academy. Today the tip is your preparation with your equipment before the match. I like everything to be in order. I want to have a series of rackets at a certain tension. I always like to have one slightly above. In case the player gets nervous, you can always switch to a tighter tension at the crucial moment of the match. They should be gripped and ready so that when you pick up a new racket, you are ready to go and always ready to fight.
They say you should dress for the job you want. Shouldn't you drive the car for the life you want? Right now at BMW of Sarasota, experience the luxury you want for less. Like a 320i, only $269 per month. Or an X1, just $299 per month. Everything about you tells your story. Drive a BMW today. You deserve it. BMW of Sarasota. Experience the ultimate difference.
USTA Florida is leading the tennis revolution. As former touring pro and a coach of young players, I endorse 10 and under tennis as the proper way to teach children how to play this great game and to play it in an all-around style. The sport has never been easier to learn than with this 10 and under tennis format. Jump on board, it's the sport of a lifetime.
Tennis fans, you knew the voice. You knew the voice of the Florida Twist, the world team tennis voice of Ken Merritt. Ken, we can't start this interview unless we trace back to a little bit of that voice. What were you throwing out of the booth in those?
I mean, that was a long time ago. It was a lot of fun, you know, especially when we had it over at IMG and we had the Florida Twist there, and we had we had Eva Maioli when she was 15 years old as
just winning
one
the
of our
French
star player, and actually I think it was before she won the French. And I'll never forget, we had Martina Navratilova come in and play the night match. And Martina was down to Eva Maioli in the match, and so she pulled out every tactic she could against this 15-year-old girl, and she started complaining about line calls. And it got pretty heated, and I think I was one of the first people to ever use music in the middle of tennis matches. And
something
maybe
like
even
Big Girls Don't Cry?
I played Big Girls Who Don't Cry when she started complaining. She didn't use her middle finger. She used her whole arm back to me. So, yeah, that was some fun times back in the day.
Well, the fun continues.
Yes.
Especially with Nick Bollettieri. And we'll talk about the new operation and some of the ventures. But let's talk about some behind-the-scenes stuff and the side of Nick Bollettieri that not everybody knows, but after today, you will. There's a card game out there, and boy, did you suffer with that one, baby.
Well, let me tell you, I spent many years on the road with Nick, especially when he was traveling with Boris Becker and some of the other players. What a great honor that was during those years, when Tommy Haas was first coming up in the juniors. And so we bought a deck of cards because we always played cards on the road. Nick loved playing, different games and all that. And Nick, I didn't know Nick had bought the cards. So anyway, we're in the south of France and we're playing poker or just, two-man, card games and all. And
you're a young guy then,
I'm
were
a young
you?
guy. I was probably 26, 27 years old. And Nick, we did a little bit of a gambling, a couple dollars here
Little
and
wager
there.
on the
Yeah,
the
so I
cards?
was down $100, I think, to Nick. And he goes, he would never make me pay the money. It was always about, let's try to get you out of this. So he goes, look, let's just play high-low. You pick the card. I picked the first card. I picked like a jack. He picks a king. So I'm now down 200. It kept going, kept going, kept going. I'm down $36,000.
Oh,
I
my
turned as
goodness.
white as a ghost. There's no way at 26 I'm going to be able to afford this. So I actually go to the bathroom. I think I was a little sick. Come back to the table, and Nick says, we'll play one more time. So I ended up playing one more time. Ended up finally getting back to even, and then he told me later that he spent the whole flight to Europe marking the cards so he knew what every single card was in the deck.
Tricky
That's
Nick
Nick.
on that.
That's
My
Nick.
goodness.
I got him back though.
I want to hear how you got him back. Also involves some travel, doesn't it?
Yeah, we were on a plane, and when Nick gets on a plane, he closes up all the vents, all the air conditioner vents. He pulls his hat down nice and low, and he just sits kind of coffin style in the chair. He doesn't lean it back or nothing. So me and Mike DePalmer Jr., who was coaching Boris at the time with us, we spent the entire flight to Europe secretly painting his fingernails bright red from one of the flight attendants. He wakes up he wakes up, goes to the bathroom. We hear him screaming and laughing in the bathroom because he saw the nail polish.
Did he curse in the bathroom?
Probably a little bit of words came out of him, so it was fun. I spend quite a bit of time with Nick now, just trying to get his stuff up to speed. We a few months ago, about 7 months ago, Nick had invited me to one of his storage units, and come to find out he had saved every single thing that he had ever written or anything that was ever published.
Hard copy of everything?
Hard copy of everything. Photos. We found 5 storage units here in Bradenton just full of treasure trove of 30, 40, 50 plus years of things. I mean, we found his original Social Security card. We found the original contract when the academy first opened. It was called the Florida Tennis Academy then. It wasn't even the Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy.
Nick Bollettieri, Mike DePalmer?
It was before that, even before that time. So we found some incredible stuff, and we spent the last 7 months really going through and taking these hard copies and turning them into PDFs and turning VHS tapes and old 8mm tapes into MP4 or YouTube stuff. So it's still ongoing. We're still doing a ton of that work, but we've got on nickbollettieri.com, we probably have over 1,000 different pages of articles and training aids and planning aids and just anything you need for the game of tennis that's come right out of Nick's hands. And I spend a lot of time helping him on his social media. He's got 35,000 fans on Facebook and another 35,000 on Twitter, and we just launched the website, and we're getting a lot of action, a lot of members joining it, and there's some free areas as well, so they can come and interact with Nick. But obviously, he gets a ton of questions and requests and messages every day.
And you answer them at lunch?
Well, we go over them with Nick every day.
Yes.
I mean, it's something that he is hands-on involved with. It's not just some ghostwriter out pretending to be Nick Bollettieri. Nick's actually answering him. He might not be doing the physical typing, but he's heavily involved in all the posts that we do and everything that we do online. So I'm having a lot of fun doing that stuff, because you just come across some crazy emails and some crazy messages, and then just some inspirational things as well too. So it's fun, it's exciting, I like it.
Ken Marriage.
Thank you.
Big girls don't cry,
That's
baby.
right, exactly. Keep
Great,
it going.
Great to see you again.
You too, Dave.
Yes, Sarasota resident and multi-slam champion Mary Pierce takes a lot of pride in all that she does. Let's get to know this USTA Florida Hall of Famer a bit better.
Mary Pierce, being elected and accepted to be in the USTA Florida Hall of Fame. Now, in my opinion, Mary Pierce should be in every Hall of Fame.
Right from the beginning, you could see that she was somebody that really wanted to get good at tennis.
She went all the way up to top 3 in the world.
She's a giving person. She's a tender person. She has passion. And Mary is a happy young lady.
So I hit my first tennis ball in Florida. I was 10 years old, and it was at the Seminole Lake Racket Club. And I can remember, just like if it was yesterday, being on that court. I can see the court, I can still see it, I can see the net, I can see the coach there just standing and hand tossing me the ball to hit it over the net, and the kids in front of me would just swing the racket and they wouldn't even hit the ball. And he tossed me the ball, and I hit it over the net and in the court. And the coach kind of looked at me and he said, "Who told you to come on this court?" I said, "Oh, well, the lady in the pro shop." "No, wrong court." So he told me to go to another court. So I went to a second court. After a few minutes, the coach said to me, "Who sent you here?" I said, "Well, the coach over there." He's like, "No, wrong court. You need to go over there." So I went to a third court. And when I finished, that's when Kevin, who's the head pro there at the club, came to me. And he says, no, how many years have you been playing? And I said, "Well, it's my first day." And he says, "Okay, I want you to come back tomorrow with your parents."
As a 10, 11-year-old, within a couple years, she was a nationally ranked player. And the rest for her is where she is now as a Grand Slam winner.
Funny thing is that I wanted to be a pediatrician and I loved school. And I wasn't doing any sports and I wasn't interested in sweating at all because growing up in Florida, it's very hot, it's very humid, and I just didn't want to be outside sweating. And then I just started playing tennis. My father took me to the Harry Hopman Tennis Academy in Bardmore when Mr. Hopman was still alive. I believe I was probably 11 years old. And I trained there, and then when Mr. Hopman passed away, the Harry Hopman Academy moved to Saddlebrook, and that's when I started working with Alvaro.
She was a hard worker at that age. She was the first one in the morning, the last one in the afternoon. She was working every day, all day long.
You know, I just loved it, and he just worked so hard, and you know, definitely helped me to be the player that I was, for sure. You know, Nick is great. I went there the first time when I was 13 years old and trained there for a little bit. And pretty much from 18 years old until really much the rest of my career, that was always like home base, you know, for me and in America when I had tournaments there, and just coming back always, you know, back home to Bradenton and at the academy.
I said, "Mary, I will stay with you until you can stand on your own feet and not look to the stands for help." It happened. And before the finals of the Australian Open, I said, "Mary, I'm leaving you." She said, "Why, Nick?" "Because you can stand on your own 2 feet."
You know, winning your first Grand Slam tournament is always so special. It's very difficult to put into words what you feel because it is years and years and years of hard work, you know, and all of that pain, all of that suffering, all of those difficulties, all of those hours, all of the sweat, all of the tears, I mean, everything that just went into it, all of those years, and that one moment, you know, finally when you've won that championship point and you just, you know, raise your arms up in the air and you've done it, it's like, I can't believe it, you know, I did it. And it's just an amazing feeling. It's the ultimate accomplishment for a tennis player. To win the French Open, I did it in singles and in doubles the same year with Martina Hingis. It was just amazing. I mean, it's the best, proudest moment of my tennis career. I'm very honored and I'm very privileged and I'm very proud of being in the USTA Florida Tennis Hall of Fame. It means a lot to me, and I've worked very hard, and you know, Florida definitely has a special place in my heart.
They say you should dress for the job you want. Shouldn't you drive the car for the life you want? Right now at BMW of Sarasota, experience the luxury you want for less. Like a 320i, only $269 per month. Or an X1, just $299 per month. Everything about you tells your story. Drive a BMW today. You deserve it. BMW of Sarasota. Experience the ultimate difference.
Hey USTA Florida coaches, let's get the kids out on the court. Introduce them to the game with these 10 and under tennis balls. 10 under tennis allows kids to develop into all-around competitive players by learning shot patterns early in life. Playing on courts that are scaled to their size, tennis rackets that fit their bodies, and tennis balls that bounce to the right height for their strokes. And they'll learn how to play the game right, and they'll be playing that game for a lifetime.
Nick Bollettieri watching Inside Tennis with my man, the Kaz.
Tennis fans, we want you to become part of the Kaz tennis family. If you have an event coming up, drop us a note to the Cause at Inside Tennis with the Cause. If there's something that you'd like to see on the show, also drop us a note. And if you would like to have a chance, and I know that you would, to serve for a free one-year lease of a brand new BMW from BMW of Sarasota, join us right here every Saturday at 2:30. And guess what? We'll show you how. And now for our Totally Tennis Suncoast calendar. July 11th, Jeff Russell is hosting a Level 7 Players Championship at the United Tennis Academy. July 25, Kerry has a Level 7 Classic at Bath & Racket at Celsius Tennis Academy. And also on that busy weekend, Travis Eckerd is hosting the Longwood Run Open No. 2 for men's and women's singles and doubles. July 28th, Jeff Russell has another great Pro-Am. August 1st, let's head out to Nate Griffin's River Strand for a super USTA one-day doubles event. August 8th, Longwood Run Open, No. 3, men's and women's singles and doubles. August 15th, join in the Hendrickson Memorial Junior event out at Longwood with Travis Eckerd. Atlanta is going to enjoy this ATP event as Andy and Marty are returning to the tour. I had a chance to catch up with these two always cool guys in a USTA conference interview call.
We've been friends forever, and since we were 12, playing each other, and where was that? Altamont Springs, Andy? Maybe San Lando Park was maybe the first time we played when we were 11 and 12, and your dad thought I was cheating you.
Well, you probably were.
No, I wasn't. Your dad yelled at me because he thought that I was cheating, but I wasn't. And you ended up beating me 7-6, 7-6. That was the first time we ever played. No, we've got a long history, and we're excited to do it there again in Atlanta. And I'm training probably harder than Andy is right now just because of the single stuff, but I'm on him to hopefully get back at least start practicing a little bit more. But, we're super excited.
That's one of my favorite stories, too. I remember it differently because I do know that Marty was definitely cheating. The yelling by my father was warranted. We're just excited. I mean, I think the priority is on Marty, playing singles, and, we're going to have some fun with the doubles. And for a moment in time there, 3 or 4 years ago, Marty could win on tour with anybody in doubles. So I'm looking forward to it. I plan on losing 5 pounds by the Atlanta tournament and then gaining 10 pounds back right away.
Tennis fans, great to have you with us on Inside Tennis with the Cause. Boy, we love our sponsors, and you will too. Stop in to see them. But until then, remember, in tennis scoring, love means nothing, but love of the game means everything. Keep alive your love of the game. Love you, tennis fans, and we'll see you right here on SNN every Saturday at 2:30.
Inside Tennis with the Cause has been brought to you by BMW of Sarasota. Experience the ultimate difference at BMW of Sarasota.